The warning klaxons had been screaming for 17 minutes when Chief Engineer Zixthan witnessed something that would haunt his nightmares for cycles to come. The human had removed his helmet. "Marcus!" Zixthan's translator crackled with panic as his chitinous limbs scrambled across the control panel. "Your radiation shielding has failed. The stellar output is at 847% normal levels, but Marcus Chen, the only human aboard the deep space mining vessel Extraction Prime, simply stretched out on the observation deck's metal flooring like some primitive creature basking in lethal radiation. His dark hair caught the harsh light, streaming through the reinforced viewport as Kepler 442's unusually active surface bombarded their ship with enough gamma radiation to liquefy most known species within seconds. "I know," Marcus replied, his voice carrying that peculiar human quality that Zixthan had learned meant either supreme confidence or complete insanity. "Feels good." The Veltar engineer's four eyes stalked forward in disbelief. In his 300 cycles of deep space operations, he had never encountered a species that treated catastrophic radiation exposure as a recreational activity. His own radiation suit's biomonitors were screaming warnings about cellular degradation just from being in the same compartment, even with full shielding active. "The levels are lethal," Zixthan insisted, his translator barely keeping up with his rapid-fire chittering. "Your DNA should be unwinding at the molecular level." Marcus propped himself up on his elbows, squinting slightly against the brilliant stellar radiation. "Yeah, it's pretty intense. Reminds me of summers in Australia." He paused, watching Zixthan's horrified expression. "Look, I appreciate the concern, buddy, but I've got this under control." The ship's automated systems had triggered every emergency protocol simultaneously. Blast shields should have sealed the observation deck. The mining operation should have been aborted. The entire crew should have been in the radiation bunkers, waiting for the stellar flare to subside. Instead, their human crew member was treating deadly cosmic radiation like a pleasant afternoon at what his species called a beach. Dr. Kethara, the ship's Zephyrian medical officer, arrived in full hazmat gear, her tentacles writhing with anxiety. "Chief Engineer, why haven't the emergency protocols—" She stopped mid-sentence, her optical clusters focusing on the impossible scene before her. Marcus had closed his eyes and was breathing deeply, as if the radiation-saturated air was somehow refreshing rather than violently carcinogenic. "Is he—" Dr. Kethara's voice was barely a whisper. "Sunbathing," Zixthan confirmed. He called it sunbathing. The medical officer's instruments detected radiation levels that should have reduced organic matter to its component atoms. Yet the human's vital signs transmitted by his implanted biomonitor showed not only stability but what appeared to be elevated mood indicators. "This is impossible," Dr. Kethara muttered, recalibrating her sensors for the third time. His cellular repair mechanisms are not just compensating for the damage, they're operating at 340% normal efficiency. Marcus opened one eye and grinned at his increasingly panicked crewmates. "You know what your problem is? You guys never learned to relax. This is nothing compared to Earth's Van Allen belts. And we used to send up astronauts in tin cans with less shielding than your average lunchbox." "But the radiation," Zixthan started. "Is just hydrogen fusion byproducts," Marcus interrupted, settling back down with his hands behind his head. "Look, evolution is a funny thing. You guys developed on nice, stable worlds with predictable stellar output and comfortable magnetic fields. We got a planet that tried to kill us every single day for 4 billion years. Dr. Kethara's tentacles had stopped writhing and were now taking detailed bio-readings. His melanin production has increased by 23% in the last 10 minutes. His body is literally adapting in real time." "Exactly," Marcus said cheerfully. "Stellar radiation, cosmic rays, gamma bursts, it's all just weather to us. Do you know what the background radiation level is in Colorado? Or how much cosmic radiation airline pilots get exposed to during a normal flight? We've been dealing with this stuff since before we figured out fire." The stellar flare reached its peak intensity, and the ship's sensors registered radiation levels that would have sterilized most planetary surfaces. Marcus let out a contented sigh. "You have to understand," he continued, "humans evolved under a star that throws tantrums. Solar flares, coronal mass ejections, ozone depletion. Our ancestors got bombarded with radiation and just kept going. The weak ones died out. The tough ones had kids. After a few 100,000 generations, this is what you get." Zixthan's translator was working overtime to process the concept. You're saying your species was forged by radiation? Among other things, yeah. Radiation, predators, diseases, natural disasters, climate change, asteroid impacts. Earth didn't coddle us. It tried to kill us, so we got harder to kill. Marcus stretched again, luxuriating in radiation that was literally rewriting the DNA of every other organism on the ship. The funny thing is, we thought we were the normal ones until we started meeting species like yours. Dr. Cathara was frantically taking notes. This could revolutionize our understanding of biological adaptation. His repair mechanisms are actually using the radiation as an energy source. Vitamin D synthesis, Marcus explained helpfully. Plus a few other tricks we picked up along the way. You should see what happens when we get really motivated. There's a reason the Galactic Council designated us as a Death World species. The stellar flare began to subside, but Marcus showed no signs of moving from his impromptu sunbathing spot. If anything, he looked more relaxed than when he'd started. So next time the radiation suits fail, he said, eyes still closed and grinning, maybe just ask the human first. We might not need them. Zixthon made a mental note to update the emergency protocols. In the section marked radiation exposure, he would add a small but important addendum: humans excluded. After all, he was learning that when it came to humans, the impossible was usually just Tuesday.